all the students and parents listening to this. Today, we're going to talk about the 2E's formula for students' success. You may want to grab a pen and a paper, maybe, a book and make notes. So why should we learn the 2E's formula? It's very simple. The first thing that you need to understand is that more than 97% of the students, it's believed that they do not achieve the desired result that they want to achieve in exams. They've got different problems. Think about it. You forget your answers, poor grades, you don't finish your schoolwork, your college work, you procrastinate, and eventually you feel overwhelmed, right? So how do you handle these problems, and is it possible to handle these problems? The answer is definite yes. You definitely can handle these problems. You can do well in your exams, increase your grades, master your subjects, kill procrastination, because if you don't do that, procrastination is going to kill your dreams. But then how do we achieve all these things? I'm going to teach you the 2E's formula. These are like your 2 secrets that can help you move ahead in life. So what are these 2 secrets? Now you see the 2 E's, okay? The first E here stands for being effective. What is it? Being effective, all right? Now, a lot of you must have heard the word effective, but what does it mean for a student? What does being effective mean for a student? Write it down. Number 1, if at all you're looking at being tremendously successful, then you write this thing down, all right? Number 1, to be effective, you need to have a goal. You need to have a goal. You need to know exactly which university that you would want to study in, decide on the top 5 universities. So once you have a goal, this is my goal, I need to master this subject. This is my goal, I need to up my grades in these particular subjects. So you need to decide on your goals. That's number 1. And number 2 is you need to have a timeline for all these goals. Yes, a timeline for all these goals. Because you see, a lot of us have a goal, but then if you don't have a timeline, we end up indulging in procrastination, postponing things. It's okay, let me just watch a few more episodes. It's okay, let me just finish this game and then I'm going to do it. That is why you need to have a timeline or a deadline for your goal. All right. And number 3, you need to understand that this is critical, you got to attain your goal in time. That is what being effective means. Being effective means having the ability to attain your goals on time, all right? So now, how do we become effective? To become effective, that is to achieve our goals on time, we need to look at the second E. Now, what is the second E? It's called, you need to become efficient. You need to become efficient. Now, what is being efficient for a student? Or, for anybody, for that matter. Now, being efficient means, now you see, firstly, you need to understand that you have different resources at your disposal to achieve your goals. To become effective, you have different resources that you can actually use. Now, what are these resources that can help you accelerate your process of goal achievement? Number 1 resource that you have is called time. Remember this. Time, all right? This is a resource that you need to have, that you have, and that you need to understand. It is the most important resource at your disposal, time. And then you have things like your brain, your human power, your school, your college, that's a resource. Your teachers, that's a resource. Your books, that's a resource too. Your pen, your pencil, your internet connection, the chair that you sit on, the table that you use, all these are resources. So now you see, being efficient means being able to maximize the usage of your resources, right? Now, what does that mean? Maximizing the usage of your resources. Now, let's say, for example, your teacher can help you understand the subject matter, right? But then you need to have the skill to absorb what the teacher is teaching. Because you see, a lot of students, they do not connect with all the teachers there. They have their favorite teachers. They have teachers that they don't understand. No matter how well she's explaining, they simply don't connect. So you need to develop the skill of listening to the teacher. And once you develop it, you need to execute it. That way, you will maximize this resource called your teacher. That is why you got to respect your teachers there, right? So your teachers. And now let's talk about books. Books is a resource. Now you have a book, right? Now this is my book. Now you have a book. So you need to know not only to read, but then to read at faster levels and understand what you're reading at the same time. So that is a skill. Now you see, you have your resources. You go to colleges, you go to schools, you have your books, you have your pen, you have the internet connection, you have the air conditioner at home. But then we got to develop, write this down, the skills, the talents, the abilities, the methods and techniques to maximize the usage of these resources. You need to have the techniques to tap into your brain's potential. You need to have the techniques to learn your subject matter, learn more in less time. Smart study system that I developed can help you. If you have learned it, you got to apply it. And you know it works if you have already, done my Super Kids Smart Teams workshop. If you haven't already, I encourage you to be a part of it. You learn the best of the best, right? And make sure that you become efficient to become effective. Now, what is being effective? Achieving your goals on time. That is being effective, right? And to achieve your goals on time, you need to know how to make use of the resources that you have. You need to develop the skills to make use of your resources, like time. You need to develop time management skills in order to make use of your time. You need to learn certain techniques to tap into your, certain areas of your brain in order to learn better. You need to develop listening skills, proper listening skills in order to absorb like a sponge in the class. Now, these are the skills, the techniques, the ideas that you got to develop and make use of them every single day. Not, when you're being compared. Sharma ji ke bete ki tarah kyun nahi? When you're compared, you get that boost and you're like, I'm going to do it now. And then you apply whatever you have learned. No, that's not the way it works. You got to do it day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out. You got to grind. You got to grind, students. Parents, you got to understand this. You got to learn, you got to apply, you got to make use of it, and then you evolve, and then you achieve your success, and then you grow. All right? So be in touch with us. Make sure that you're in touch with my team. You have the WhatsApp number. You have our Facebook page. You have our YouTube channel. Subscribe. Be a part of our seminars whenever we do them, right? Do not miss these seminars. Make sure you make use of them. Stay in touch.